Are we live?
Okay, we're live again, guys. We had technological differences again. We lost the stream right there in mid-conversation, so hopefully you're going to see the notification on your phone and be able to pull us back up. We got one person looking at us. I bet that might be Dan.
No.
No, it's me.
Sorry about that. And with YouTube, the only way to keep going is to start another stream. So here we are. We got two people going.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
back. Sorry about
We're
that,
back.
guys.
Sorry about that, guys.
It was a whoopsie. The internet got upset with us, and we had technological differences, as Chris said. And
Hold on.
where were we?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry.
Brian ran away.
We
So
scared him off.
He hobbled away. Someone mentioned a leg in the front yard, so he went looking for it.
Hopefully he finds it.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were we talking about, though?
rotaries.
Rotaries. How we love those.
Yes.
We want to share this.
We were talking about.
I
I think this is the engine I saw before. But
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
share
know.
this one, because I shared the other one. Yeah, we're up.
Is this the big block you were talking about?
Yeah, it's the one step.
That thing's like nuts.
No.
We're back online.
We are back.
And yeah, that's what it is. It's 6 and 6.
Can you open
Okay.
So it's like 2-bank rotary, which is crazy. That's insanity, honestly.
Really? Come on, Lemmy. Come on, you big bird. You got to go inside.
You stay out too.
You, buddy. Big sack of lard. All right.
And I'm so hemming and hawing, like,
Well, my phone dies. I'm gonna need one of y'all to look at my back car. I got
part
pictures,
of me
but-
wants to do a 1.8 high rev engine. Part of me wants to do a 13B.
You could build the 13B just how you want to build the 1.8
Uso V6.
and make more power out of it, too.
Find me one and I'll buy it and build it.
I think
I
there's,
can.
I
I'll
think
get,
there's,
don't tempt me.
there's a complete car on sale for Craigslist for like $6,000.
what?
Somewhere
You
in
have
the
to be able to
country.
find me an engine that's affordable.
I got one in my garage. Needs to be rebuilt.
Raymond Park.
No, that one's
No,
mine.
he's talking about
Oh,
the
Alpha.
Alfa Romeo
Oh,
V6
yeah.
engine.
Uso V6.
that would be
It
really
will
cool.
sound amazing.
It would sound amazing. Unfortunately, it would never make
When
any
it
noise.
rains.
Well, you know what? If you wanted to
Actually,
do,
those engines are pretty reliable.
and if you wanted to stick
mechanically
with,
they're fine. It's just Italian electrics that like that stuff's bad.
Oh, take the motor, put Japanese electrics into it. Boom. There you go. Reliable car.
well, what if you want to go like with the NA everything, you could do the KL with the adapter plate they sell and make a Mazda K series high revving V6 that people. There's actually quite a few
Shut up.
guys with that. done.
Don't do
And
this
you
to
can
me.
get one of those motors for dirt ass cheap.
Don't do this
You
to
can even
me.
get a
Find
JDM
an
one for
old-
dirt ass cheap.
Find an old
Probe. Find a
Uh-huh.
Probe, an MX6, any of those. Get that 2.5
Now those front wheel
Millennia.
drive cars, they've got a setup that'll let it bolt in.
Yeah, they sell
That's
an
it.
they sell an adapter plate. Only two of the bolts are different,
That's it.
and then it goes right in. And you can even use the intake manifold that sweeps out the back. And then other people have made custom ones. There's a guy with a Porsche
Actually, some of those
Intake manifold.
ITVs.
ITV.
Yeah. Come on now.
There is a KL ITV Miata on YouTube, and then you got that guy with the Porsche a 924 the 944 that's got a turbo KL in it out of a fucking 626. You can find those motors everywhere.
And that's why you shouldn't buy a Porsche. Some guy got so fed up with a Porsche
You put a
engine,
fucking Mazda.
he put a Mazda engine in it. He's like, God damn it, I just want this thing to run. That's it. Give me that Ford Probe. I'm cutting the front of the car off and installing it in the back of
and
my
the thing
Ford.
is-
I
the
know
thing
where you
is
can
you're-
find a MX6 too, a white one.
Well, and the thing is you're not wrong. Like when I read the full build article, he got to the point where he was either going to put an LS in it or something else, but he didn't want to put an LS in it because he didn't want that kind of power and to have an LS powered one. But the 4-cylinder was having so many issues, and he had it built, rebuilt, all these different things, and he had heard about somebody doing a transverse mounted KL motor, and you started reading into the Mazda KL motors. That's what he decided to go with. I don't blame him. You got like fucking Louis Pryor up in Georgia running almost 10s with an NA KL with ITBs.
And that's the thing. You put that motor into a Miata, you don't even have to do anything to the motor. You just take it out of the old car, put it in the
You
Miata,
just put ITBs
and
on it. You
put
didn't even build it.
ITBs and headers on it.
And it makes 300 horsepower.
it makes so much power in that small of a car.
Yep.
That's what I don't want, though.
Yeah.
I don't want an unbalanced car like that. I don't want a car that's so powerful that you can't touch the accelerator.
And that's why I'm dialing back to the FE. Like maybe we should get it. Maybe we should.
But that chassis is so damn good, though.
I know that chassis is good, and what part of what makes it good is not having too much power.
You just put
Hey,
stick
hold
your
on,
tires on.
Hold
it.
on. I really just thought of something.
Did you heard anything?
Throw B16 or B18 into it. The GSR block.
You could do that too. Well, no, I was telling people have done that. What a lot of people
No, a
do,
lot of people do the S2000 drivetrain.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that'll be more expensive.
What-
Seriously, do a like either a B16 or a B.
All right, find me a transmission that'll work with an engine that spins backwards.
And that's what
Fuck,
what I
yeah.
told because
Yeah.
what people have done in the past is they've taken.
Engine transmission from an IS200
Well,
Yep.
with ITBs.
you can take the B16 head and use it on a Mazda B series block. There's a certain way you have to do it, but you can do it and have VTEC on a Mazda block.
Well, I mean, that's the same as putting the Volvo cylinder head on the old
Correct.
2.3.
Correct.
You can do it, but there's a lot of shit to make it work right.
But that's what I'm like coming back
Lima
to. and
2.3
thinking,
iron block is way too heavy for a
Damn
Miata.
it!
But no, I'm thinking of
It's
the
way too heavy for a Miata.
the USDM FE motor out of the Sportages, the Kia Sportages. That would actually, I mean, because there's a lot of aftermarket support for those motors in America, even.
What do you guys think?
At that point, though, I'm
Oh.
starting with a block and
Is there
having to
even
buy all
anybody
the
there?
internals.
Is that 1 or a 7? I can't tell.
I'm not putting
I don't
Kia
see anybody.
internals in my car.
That's true.
Not
We have one
2000
person
Kia
watching.
Sportage internals, at least,
Uh,
because
yeah, you would wanna
that
build
engine was a BP
Yeah.
engine, like or a
No, that's
Mazda
the
engine,
time.
But it was
but it was made
number
and
of people-
manufactured
The
by
number of
Kia.
feet live.
They
The number
just
of people
borrowed
show
the
up in the
design.
chat and there's like
Exactly.
nothing.
No, right here.
the
You got
next
one
to the
person.
time.
No, one person watching. 2 people liked it.
The times. The,
No, you're getting old. You need
the
glasses.
motherfucking times next to it.
Anyways.
Here.
More
But
sand
yeah.
motherfucking times. Anyway,
That's
so
gonna be a
all
really
of one
exciting
of you
film.
watching, I don't know who you are, but hey, comment
Say something.
so we can don't feel like complete retards.
All I
sorry.
really
Sorry,
need that engine to do is swing to 8 grand.
Mentally, no shit. I
If
can't.
it swings to 8, I'll be happy because
Yeah.
they make a really great noise from 6 to 8, and I'm fine with that.
You put a Ford Street 6 in it too.
True.
You're the fucking guy with the RX-8 that had me cracking up. I love that exists.
Hold on. RX-8, you just brought that up. Wednesday when we were at Pine Street, our favorite local bar.
Yeah,
And if you saw a little video on Facebook, you saw that
we were there.
we were there.
Yes. But as we were out front, I think you guys went inside.
No, all of us
No.
were out front when it went
You
by.
are?
We saw it. We
It was
saw
a metallic gray RX-8 driving by under its own power with no smoke and no apex seals.
And it was a manual. and
Yeah.
a chick driving it.
Yeah,
And
like,
it
wow.
was going.
I was surprised.
It was going.
You mean the inner liners of the irons weren't coming out
No,
the exhaust when it
no.
went?
no,
No
no.
remnants
side
of it
seals
at
were
all.
still in there.
And it appeared,
Really?
and it appeared to be a true first gen, like a 2004 to 06. It looked just like one, which is that's the cream of the
It's
money.
been
blow.
rebuilt.
Probably.
Yeah, but it still was running under its own power, and there was no smoke coming out of the back.
I love that you could go on Facebook Marketplace right now and buy
Anywhere
any
in the country.
number of RX-8s that they're $600,
With a blow
and they're a
motor.
complete car, runs
Really
and
nice
will
interior.
run and drive
Yeah.
Just once
until it gets hot.
And that's when you put a 13B in it.
Right.
All today.
Or you just hog out all the oil galleys they shut off in the Renaissance motor and make it a 13B.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Well, but you have to replace the irons in it.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem. They didn't get any oil,
And they wipe
so
the irons.
it wipes out the
Oh my-
the sleeves on the irons.
I saw this guy today selling irons for $390 that were all destroyed.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey, remember that time I had an RX-7 and the engine blew up, so I put a Ford 302 in it?
Hello.
Yeah, I heard that too.
What was it?
Is that
Was that
ST? Fiesta ST?
No, Focus ST.
Focus
Oh.
ST?
No, you can buy like clean center sections and irons for cheap on eBay all day.
When I was looking for one,
Was it
the
expensive?
cheapest engine I could find was $1,000.
Well, yeah, and that's like with my engine. I'm pretty sure I just lucked out. Really,
Yeah.
getting that motor for how cheap I did, especially
you
when
get the flywheel?
I
Yeah.
really like that motor that I got. I got a really good deal on it.
Hard pass.
Especially when I realized after the fact that I accidentally shorted the guy. And I called him back because I felt bad. He's like, it's all right, man. You don't got to drive back out here. I got home and I went to go put the rest of the money in my bank account because I never carried cash. Like I looked at my wallet, I'm like, I didn't give this guy an extra $100.
Oops.
And I called him. He's like, "Oh, you're good, man. It's all right." So $150 got me the box of parts, a transmission, a drive shaft, and a motor, complete motor. So
You already
Yeah,
had one of those and you
but-
got rid of it.
what do you mean?
Remember? You had the engine out of my car.
I did, and I did get rid of it. You're right. I sold. I don't even remember what I sold that for.
But hey, but
And
that
it had the
also
same problem.
that also shows that guys on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist, there's not complete douchebags that will realize that they didn't give you the full amount of money and will straight up call you and go, "I am so sorry. Let me come back out and give
Right.
you the money."
Oh, dude,
And
I
if-
felt
and
bad.
Now, if you didn't do that, he'd be all over you. But the fact that you called him and told him, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Here, I'll come back out," and all that stuff, just that fact, he was like, because I obviously, well, just speculating, he was a car guy. So,
yeah,
just
he had
knowing,
3
like,
FCs at his house.
just
Yeah.
knowing
yeah.
that, he probably went, hey, he at least tried. I know there's a distance and all that. I'm okay because at least he tried. Otherwise, he would have probably been all over you going, "Where the
Cat-
fuck's my money?"
Kathleen, Florida. That's a place in Florida.
Yeah.
Kathleen,
Where the fuck is that?
over by Lakeland.
Yeah, so good on you.
Hey,
Thank you for making it to where us car guys don't seem like complete dicks on Facebook Marketplace. Unlike their experience,
Not all of us are. A lot of people are.
Unlike
but,
the
like,
experience that I had that showed y'all to where for 24 hours I was messaging going, "Okay, can you at least just let me know if this is still available?" Scene didn't even say a single fucking word. I'm like, just let yes or no. I
Right.
just need a
Right.
fucking no.
Let it go, man.
I know.
Let it go.
I know, but still, it would have been really cool chairs that I could have had.
Right.
Let it go, man.
I had a guy offer me $1,000 today for that Crown Victoria I'm selling that I have listed for $3,000.
Did dude from Unappreciated Survivors contact you?
Yeah, he did.
Was he the one that gave you $1,000 offer for it?
No, he's supposed to be getting back to me. He lives in. I have to look. It's at one of the Indian name places, Acapulco or some shit like that in Florida. It's far though.
Alachua?
No, it's not Alachua. It's an A1. No, but it's.
Alachua is an A1.
I know it's an A1, but it's
Saquon
another
Daniel.
A1. Something like. Anyway, it's far away, and
A1A Detroit Avenue.
he's thinking about coming down to look at it. And then I have another deal right now where if it goes through or not, $2,000 and a car. So
Now, would you keep the car and the dude gets some money? Or?
I would keep the car. Dude gets the money, and then I would just sell the other car I'd get, which I could probably sell it for like $800, which will make me more money. So
What car?
Yeah, what's
John's mom's Maxima. I told him, I said, "You tired of working on it?"
Oh, what year?
It's a '95 OBD1 Maxima V6.
Don't tell Will that.
It's got a problem right now where there's no spark, and
So the
I-
last good-looking Maximus.
Yes.
I told him, I said, "Are you tired of working on this thing?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, I got a Crown Vic at my house that I'll sell your mom. It needs nothing. You won't have to work on it." And he's like, "Really?" It's like,
Mhm.
It's got brand new tires. All the fluid's just been flushed. There's no check engine light. And he goes, "No other lights?" I said, "No." And he's like, "So I won't have to fix it." Like, not right now, maybe way later, but it's clean. He's like, "What do you want?" And I said, "Why don't you give me that Maxima? I don't give a fuck if it runs or not, and $2,000." So, but yeah, it's got a no spark problem right now.
So before we go into our next beer, do
Yeah,
we want
we need to-
do we
Someone
want
still
to
hasn't finished the ones that we
do we
have.
want to dabble a little bit on our main topic that is somewhat
Wrong wheel drive cars?
Yeah.
So you don't seem excited about it. So
I'm trying to think of.
Well, he
ones that
drives
I-
a wrong wheel drive car.
Well,
That's why.
I
So
do
does
too.
he.
But
you also own a Mustang, so that's okay.
so
I
my
have a rear
my-
wheel drive car.
truck. My
Well, I'm a car 2 and 3-wheel drive. I just didn't have it.
no, it's a
It just-
no-wheel drive.
Yeah,
It don't have a motor or transmission in it. It's a no-wheel drive.
It's a roller.
It's
It's a roller.
It's got a
It's a-
differential.
It's an us pushing drive.
It's got Flintstone drive.
So, I know we on one of our like first episodes. It had been like our first 3 episodes. I can't remember. It was one of those that we slightly talked about this, but we only hit like 2 or 3 cars. We never fully went into.
Well, I've got one that's actually a vehicle from my past, and it's from a practical standpoint, it almost overlaps another car that existed at the same time. So I'm not really sure what Toyota was going on with this.
The Celica.
No, the '83 Tercel that I had.
Ooh, yes.
The reason why, size-wise, it's about the same size as KP60 and KP61 Starlet, which was rear-wheel drive.
Yep.
And the Tercel, when you opened up the hood, the engine sits north-south with clutch and or torque converter on the back, and then it sort of drives
Yeah, it
with
goes
half shafts
funky. Why? Yeah.
under the engine. So it's kind of like the motor was already north-south. They already made an all-wheel drive version of a Tercel for the wagon, so there was already a trans-tunnel and provisions to mount a diff in the back.
Why not do it?
Yeah.
Right.
I have an interesting one that you guys may or may not agree with, actually, and I'm going to use the Audi version of it, but the Audi A4.
Well, that was a Golf, right?
Yeah, that was a Volkswagen.
Fancy Golf.
Not a
right?
Golf. It was a Passat.
Well,
Passat. Yeah.
Yeah, they only came front-wheel drive or all-wheel driving. Being a person who owned a Passat, north-south, with that funky-ass transmission, all the all-wheel drive had was another drive shaft to a diff in the back. Why couldn't you just do that
Yeah,
to begin with?
just do that to begin with. Yeah.
Almost a full-size sedan, proper for it, had the tunnel for it and everything.
One that actually just talking about, especially cars that already had the tunnel and that thing. Ford Escape.
Yeah,
First gen.
yeah.
Now, I'm not sure if it was north south or
No,
east or
no,
west.
no, they're
that
no,
was
it's
those
east-
were east
East-west,
west.
but
But
still.
There was an
Still,
all-wheel drive version.
It was
that
all-wheel drive,
had
and so
provisions.
anytime you're the first gen, you
basically
Ford,
see the whole chain member under the back of it
the
where
Ford
the
Escape and
gaping
the Model
motor
T
yeah,
should
and that.
Yep.
Literally, there was a big cutout
Yeah,
for the
you
diff
look at it
on the
and
two-wheel
you just-
drive
you
model.
just see a hole. And
You
it's
know what?
one of those.
CRVs.
You cut. Well, yes.
You can see the big ass hole in the
Yeah,
back
it's
of
the
a
same
front wheel
thing.
drive one.
Like, yeah, I understand that that was because of a all-wheel drive version, and they didn't want to just do specific parts. But it's one of those little
They would have
crossovers
had to re-engineer a lot to get the engine sitting more south of that thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's
They would have at least had to do to get the engine aft or over or aft of the axle center line as it was, because you look at front wheel drive cars proportion wise, you see the A pillar and then the front wheels are so close to the A pillar, but you look at a rear wheel drive car, there's a little
Yeah.
more space going on there.
You know what? One for aesthetics, though. Oh shit! Hold on. I just thought about a car, but I'm actually not sure if it's front wheel drive or not. The Dodge Daytonas of the early '90s.
Those were
yeah,
front
well,
wheel
those-
Those were K cars.
Yeah, seriously,
yeah.
those K cars.
That was one of the aesthetic wise. That car looked like it should have been all day.
With it, you wouldn't have even had to change the overall length of the car, just the
Yeah.
wheelbase length, just by pushing the front axle forward, moving
And-
the front axle, and because it had so much front overhang, just moving the wheel arch
I
inside.
heard that.
Yeah, just moving the wheel arch forward, extending the wheelbase just slightly, keeping the overall dimensions the same, and mount everything north-south. It would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
The Dodge Avenger was another one that was the same way.
Yeah.
Well, see,
The
and
Dodge
also,
Intrepid. I mean, come on.
no, yeah, with the amount. Well, and same thing when
The
you go
Chr-
onto like the
the Concorde,
Concorde and all
The
that.
Chrysler 300M
When you're
and all
looking at those long wheelbase cars, those would have been perfect rear-wheel drive cars. Just the way they were, those were at the time Chrysler's,
Taurus.
flagship.
Taurus.
So
Yeah.
now,
Well, but I don't know how I feel about the Taurus being a rear-wheel drive, especially like the first gens and stuff like that. Just
the newer ones definitely.
the newer ones, yes, but the older ones,
Yeah, but the first and sort of second gens, the second gens ended up becoming NASCARs,
true.
Mhm.
which, I mean, and that was the last, that was,
Well, and then you move into the 2000s. They even had an all-wheel drive Taurus. They had the first one was a Taurus X.
yeah.
They had that one.
But that was that crossover thing.
No, it wasn't. It was Taurus.
Taurus
The
X.
Taurus X. No, it was just all-wheel drive Taurus.
Yep.
But
I got one for you. The Lancia Fulva.
Oh,
yeah,
so-
seriously, why?
That
is a
is
good one. I didn't
one
even
of
think about
the best. And I will fight for this one. One of the best sounding 4-cylinders ever.
Yeah, I think it sounds really good.
Yeah,
Was it-
V4.
Wait, hold on.
V4.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
a
they're
V4. yeah.
V4s.
And that thing, pull.
Yeah.
And if you're doing a
Oh.
V4, it's very easy to
You
make
ser-
that thing.
You take
You
one,
got all kinds of room in there to keep that thing forward.
you take one, you do like an Arctic bright.
Cody, didn't see you guys at the garage, so yeah, we're on the back porch.
Yeah, we're on the back
Cody.
porch tonight. But you take one of those, you have it white with some like, I'd say like Panastar wheels.
Ooh.
Yeah, or is that what it's called? Panastar? Panasport.
Oh,
Panasport.
Panasport mini lights.
Like some
Yeah.
Panasport mini lights and the glass cover that goes all the way across where the radiator is exposed, but is behind the glass cover that you can get for them. One of those like ITBs on it and like the race interior. Bumper delete too, of course. Bumper delete from the front to the back. I love those cars. That's one of the most underappreciated, awesome cars.
All right, I got one.
Fucking awesome.
I'm going full blown American here.
Holy shit, dude! I can't even argue with
Bonneville.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah.
fucking
90s, the
Bonneville.
boxy
Hey,
90s. You
My
can't
buddy
see
Zach
that.
had one of those.
Okay, I don't know if
My brother had one.
Okay, I don't know if you guys remember this car. You probably know about it. You don't remember it at the time because you were too young. But you probably have read about this car. Back in the day when John Coletti was running Ford's SVT program and doing the Cobras and all that, there was another guy at GM by the name of John Moss. And John Moss and his crew took
What else did John Moss do?
who knows what that guy did. But John Moss took a 95 Monte Carlo
Yes.
and built a V8 rear-wheel drive.
Yep.
Just slightly moved the front wheels forward a couple inches and
Like,
changed the wheel
and
arch, widened out the rear fenders to fit some
I'm
white.
trying to picture a
It was this
95.
really cool,
It-
mossy, sagey, metallic green color.
And it was
Dude,
one-
I'm at a loss though. I can't remember what that body style looks like.
It was one of those.
Remember the-
almost like the Lumina.
Was like, yeah, I was gonna say like, okay, no, okay, my
Dale
sister-in-law used
Dale
to have
Earnhardt
one.
cars. Dale
Yes, my
Earnhardt cars.
sister-in-law used to have
So,
one.
but the
Okay.
best thing about that,
Yes.
So the best thing
Yes.
about that was, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I've seen pictures and all that. When you're looking
That
at
would
the
be proper.
pictures and you don't realize what you're looking at, it looks like a
Especially
stock
the-
Monte Carlo.
The
You
the visual differences between
Very-
this car and a stock
Very, very
are so subtle. It's when you start looking at it that you'll notice that instead of there being this much of fender to door clearance on the front gap, and then you realize that on this car there's about
this it?
Yes. And then
Yeah,
you
'cause
also realize,
Interdesting.
and then you realize that the rear quarters are bulged out just
But
slightly.
just slightly.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
She had a white
like
one.
less, like
Yeah, I
half an
remember that.
half an inch to an inch when you're looking down the side. Like,
but
yeah.
they didn't just like do the wheel; they did the whole quarter panel.
Right.
So it
the whole thing
flows
flows
so
from
much.
there.
No,
So-
here's a stock one for reference.
No, I can remember her
and
because
when
I
you're
remember
looking
when
at
she
it,
had
it's
that. I
only
didn't.
like an inch or two. It's not
Yeah,
much.
like I said,
so
it's
when
just-
you're looking at the car
Yeah,
compared
like I
to
said,
a
when you
stock
notice
one,
that
you're like,
It's got some
something's
wider
up.
tires on the back, and then you realize that the fenders, the quarters have been widened to handle those wider tires.
And then you
And-
notice the front wheels are just a little bit farther forward than they're
Just a
supposed
touch.
to. Just a little bit.
That car came. That Moss and his team built that car about the
Yeah.
same time that Coletti built that Boss 429 powered
yeah.
that one-off Boss 9 engine that aluminum Boss 9 engine that they made.
You know,
Yeah, that was pretty much those two cars.
I
came from
know.
pretty much-
In our original one talking about this, we talked about the Tiburon.
mhm.
That even just the same, everything about that
Especially
car.
because now they have
especially
the
the
Genesis.
second generation
Yes.
Tiburon.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Now they have the Genesis. Like
Because honestly,
seriously.
I looked at the second generation Tiburon. I'm like, man,
They don't
the people
look
that drew
that.
the 456 GT for Ferrari are going to look at that car and get mad.
Right.
And that's one car a lot of people bang on, but I don't think there's anything wrong with those. I think they're pretty fucking sweet, actually.
And especially like the people that do like what is it, Tuscany or whatever,
The
like
Tuscan?
yeah, Tuscan, whatever.
Yeah,
no,
no, that's the Tuscany. It's the
yeah,
Korean
Tuscany,
one.
yeah,
It's
the Korean one and all that. They do imagine and all that shit. There used to be someone that worked up at the hospital right here that had
And the blue one, right?
it was silver.
Oh,
And-
no, okay, I was.
yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
And,
Yeah, I remember
but
that.
he had the full exhaust on it and all that, but it was actually
sounded
it was the Hyundai, the full Korean, what it
Yeah.
would have been.
I remember that seeing
And
that thing around. It sounded really good too.
Sounded that little V6 in there.
The 2.7.
Yep.
It sounded great. It wasn't obnoxious. It wasn't overly loud. It just was a good volume, and it had enough low end grunt to the sound, but a higher ping to it. But it wasn't tingy. If that thing was rear wheel drive, oh,
Well, it is now. Now they call it the Genesis.
Yeah, that's true.
And now the Genesis is its own line, and there's no more Genesis scoops.
Yeah, there's only the 4-door with the fucking, what is it, the 5-liter and
Nope, they don't have the 5-liter anymore.
Personally, with
Nope,
the
you
Genesis,
get the 3.8 V6 or the 3.3 twin turbo. That's it.
oh damn.
I always thought that when they came in with the Genesis coupe, somebody should have snagged the V8 out of the sedan and dropped it in the coupe.
Seriously, one of those with one of the 5 liters in them would have been probably pretty fucking fantastic. And
That
Kia,
would-
why haven't you done that yet?
And
Well,
I mean,
and see, like
those
those
on both
5
the
liters
V6
sounded
and the
good.
Oh,
Yep.
they do.
And
They sound
between
really
both on
good.
both
And
versions
they
of that,
move.
you could get the track pack with the nice Brembos and everything else.
Dude,
Yeah,
and
like
they
that was
can-
the 3.8 to
Talking
3.8
about the
track pack.
5 liters. So we got a Genesis 4-door in one time on trade.
Yeah, it was fucking the finance guys. Yeah. he
So-
traded his in.
They traded in. I did the UVI on it, and I took it out Fort Island Trail.
What was that?
and
Your first time actually driving one?
Yeah, and I gave
Oh.
it the beans.
Yeah.
Now, I assume he never went past quarter throttle.
They mean business.
Because when I gave it the beans, it didn't mean business. This thing did not mean business at all. What it did was it went,
made a giant,
"Why are you doing this to me? I've never done this before." And it belched black smoke like I was on a
Oh my
coal roll
God.
tune. I'm not even kidding. It belched a cloud of black smoke.
Because I
Like
drove,
it did F350
oh my god,
diesel black smoking for one time.
Was it? I
and then
drove
after
a-
that, it was
After
awesome.
that, it picked back up.
Yeah.
But that
Yeah.
first time, I went, "Rah," and it went, "Rah."
You got,
Yeah,
you got every bit of carbon buildup out of that thing.
I drove
I
one
did.
of the V8 K900s, and I was like supremely impressed. They come with like 420 something horsepower
yeah.
from the factory.
Well, when Sabrina first got her car, before we did any mods to it, it was right after her getting hit with it because her car got hit within a week of us fucking owning it. But
yeah, Pizza Kid backed into it.
she was going through like by metal crushes and all that shit, and there was an older guy in a silver one, and that at a stoplight decided to give beans, and she's like, "I'll give beans too." She called me after and was like, "This Hyundai stayed with me," and I'm like, "What?" She's like, "It stayed with me." And I'm like, "Okay, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
What was it?" She's like, "It was something big and 4-door." I'm like, "Oh, that was a big Genesis with a V8." She's like, "It sounded like it had a V8. What the fuck was this thing?" I'm like, "No, that was a V8 Genesis
They write
sedan." I'm like, "And it has about the same horsepower as what you have, and
Yep.
you're about the same weight because the fucking Mustang is heavy as fuck."
You know
I'm
what?
like, "Did you beat him?"
And it's got better rear suspension.
She's like, "Buy like a fender." I'm like, "Well, at least you beat him, but yeah, no, watch out for those things."
Uh-huh.
She's like, "The old guy was smiling the whole time." I'm like, "Yeah, because he knew it was like, I'm gonna fuck your day up."
Uh-huh.
Speaking of the
I'm going to ruin your week.
speaking of the wrong wheel drive cars, though, can we kind of?
sorry.
No, you're fine.
We spiraled.
That's what we do, though. But
Yeah.
I want to kind of tap into.
Civic Type R.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. I wasn't even getting there. I was going to a whole different but same thing. I wanted to tap into wrong wheel drive SUVs.
Oh
All
yeah.
of them.
All of them.
Thank you.
Hold on. No.
Now.
There are no wrong wheel drive SUVs.
Because there ain't no SUVs anymore. They're all fucking crossovers.
All SUVs were at least rear wheel drive or 4-wheel drive. Crossovers are front wheel drive, and they're the work of the devil.
Yes.
Because you look at this and go, "Hey, look, that's a nice SUV. It'll be all off-road capable and stuff." And then it's front-wheel drive.
Well, like, the
It has all-wheel drive optional, but who the fuck cares? Because all-wheel drive is 40% to the rear.
the Ridgelines are front wheel drive too.
Oh yeah.
But
That's a truck,
yes,
and it's
rough.
and it's rear wheel. It's
but
front
see,
wheel
that
drive.
brings me to our most latest and greatest thing with me and Chris being in the Kia world is the Telluride.
I fucking love that thing.
But that's a
Yeah,
full.
those
In my
are-
opinion, that's an SUV. And it's front wheel drive.
That's big for a CUV.
It's a luxury crossover SUV, and there is a reason why that it's front wheel drive.
Well, I know because of what they're using for everything, but and that
Well,
makes sense.
And it's not it cannot be an SUV because it is not
No,
It's
truck
the same,
based.
yeah.
no.
So and
That is
I
true,
agree with that.
actually.
The
because
reason
it
why,
goes on
why
with
it's
the
not
new
truck based.
the new Explorers, where it's based off of the new Explorers were based off of the Taurus platform.
No, the new Explorers are its own platform. It's
Well,
Yes.
rear-wheel
well,
drive.
but the old ones they were
Yeah.
all they
Well,
were front wheel drive and they were based off the Taurus platform. So at that point, the Explorer went from an Explorer the SUV to the Explorer the
Crossover,
CUV.
Right.
Now it's back to Explorer the SUV.
Well, the Telluride's on the minivan platform. That's why.
Yeah,
But
those
the
are
Explorer's
a
not-
Sedona minivan underneath.
The new Explorer's not body on frame. I think it's a unibody.
No, but at least it's
But it is rear-wheel drive. It's a
Yes.
rear-wheel drive architecture.
So at least it's back to the SUV standpoint.
Well, the
Yes.
original sports
So-
utility vehicle was
Wait,
a unibody design too.
Yeah.
so when does the Explorer get called the Mustang SUV?
2023.
You give them
I'm-
that long?
I
I
still
admire your optimism.
I'm still
Thank you.
not mad of the Maki.
Yeah.
Well, Marky Mark and the Frankie Bunch. That's what I'm calling it. Anytime I say it, I'm going Mark.
Maki.
Marky. Like I just
Speaking of Mach, I can't wait to see when Mach does a video about the Mach-E.
I wonder what it's going to entail.
I really
really
hope
wonder what it's gonna be.
hope
Because
at
he
one
really
point
hasn't done anything with Ford, but he has been just raping the shit out of those GM
See,
commercials.
see, but-
there needs to be like a mom with the kids, and she has to like get the soccer quick or something. Like,
No, my thing is I hope that when they finally put out a commercial for that thing,
Good Vibrations is the song.
that as soon as I get into the car, all I hear is good vibrations. Because if that happens, Ford, if you're listening to us,
They're not.
please, because it's
You
the
will have an
Mach-E,
extremely happy little man to
Mach-E.
deal with.
I mean, come on, that would be. And the best thing is, you know how Lincoln has, Matthew McConaughey just have fucking Mark Wahlberg fucking driving the thing, and just a song come on, he looks
he
like
can't do.
really.
He owns a Chevy
Really?
dealership, bro. He can't do that.
But still, it's one of those like that. Like that would be fucking awesome. That would be fucking awesome. So I guess I'm getting the next beer because
yeah, because
Okay.
we're running over.
we are not.
Well,
running-
not really,
really.
because we had technical differences.
Yeah, we had a delay.
But what was I gonna fucking go on? Oh, so I don't know if anybody saw it, but the Chevrolet Suburban earned a star in Hollywood on the Walk of Fame.
Wait, what?
Weird flex, but okay.
Right? I saw this article about it. I thought it was fucking fake, and I looked into it, and for some reason, there's now a star. It's a Chevrolet Suburban.
How much did Chevrolet pay for that?
Right.
I
A small fortune.
I don't get it. This is fucking funny.
Oh, did you guys hear about Nissan telling workers to, those first 2 days of
Yeah.
January, you guys can just stay home?
Yep.
Really?
I saw
Yeah.
that. Oh, that was
Nissan
fucking
is
good.
in all kinds of trouble. Infiniti, their premium brand, is just fucked.
Yeah, there's bad shit happening there.
Well, when you spend the better part of 2 decades with subpar build quality, people stop buying your shit.
Well, here's the thing. We had, well, okay, my parents had an 06 Altima. Perfectly acceptable, and the only issue we ever had with the car was we had one rear bearing hub fail. That was it.
Mechanically, electrically, they're actually really decent cars.
So then they got the
The
20.
problem with them is, okay, for example, the interior. Go look on Facebook Marketplace or anything for a 350Z.
Oh,
Look
yeah,
for
they're
a
cheap
first
inside.
gen,
they're cheap
350Z.
They're cheap.
It's
inside.
not cheap. It's beyond cheap. The plastic is so soft. Like everything on the console
They
just
really,
from
they really have
being
you know,
driven.
Now
they
that
get
you say
soft
that-
and they scratch and they ding and the cover wears off of them. It's not that they're badly made. They're just
They are, well, and now that you
piss
say,
poorly made.
well, I think more and more about it because my dad's got a Rogue. It's like a 14.
It's a 14 and the interior looks like a 2005 Ford, doesn't it?
Yeah, and he's about to hit 190,000 on it. And the only problem is the master window switch is fucked up with one of the windows. We've done, well, you've done some of it, even tires and brakes. I think it's all we've
Yeah.
done, and not only one trainee service. And
Yeah, so
drives it
anyway,
every day,
so
but
they traded the 06 Altima for a 13 Altima, and then that car ended up getting
You're fine.
almost totaled, and
Thank
they
you.
just traded the remains of that into the 15.
pills,
And
they good. Oh, son,
I mean,
Oscar Blues. Mama's little yellow pills.
I saw this and went, let's try it.
Mama's little yellow pills.
Mountain Pilsner from Austin, Texas.
They're referencing the narcotics.
Uh-huh. From Oscar Blues Brewery.
Oh, another yellow, more so yellow one for the night.
All right.
Oh God, smell it! Holy shit!
I'm getting there. Whoa! This is gonna be a freaking Pilsner.
Holy crap!
So
I can taste it from the smell. This
Oh my God!
we don't have any descriptions or anything like that. So it's just a mountain pilsner, and it's called Mama's Little Yellow Pills.
Yellow.
Okay.
Mama's it-
Yellow.
Mama's it, yellow pills.
yellow pills.
Okay, wait a minute. I'll look this one up. What the hell?
Brewed and canned by Oscar Blues Brewery. But holy
Whew.
shit, the
Oh.
smell!
Pilsner.
I know.
Wow. Ooh, that almost smells like an IPA.
Yes, it's got a very distinct floral smell to it.
Yes.
But I so hope it doesn't taste like an IPA.
No, it smells like this is gonna be a really robust Pilsner.
Like it. Oh my God! It smells wonderful.
I'm just waiting to be told to go.
Like hold on, I'm like
He's looking it up to see if we
Yeah.
can get a description
just-
on it.
Oh my god, this shit
it
smells
smells
amazing.
wonderful.
Open up.
Like seriously, guys, like this smells like
Oscar Blues.
getting a thing of carnations
Yeah.
and
Are you 21?
It's just got a strong floral smell to it.
Beer finder. Beers. Beers. Like that's the feet. That's like the one we need right there too.
It is, too.
I know.
Come on, why you gotta make your website so complicated?
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, we already went there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They already did that once. Our beers.
Our
Thank you.
beers.
Shit, they got a bunch of stuff here.
Yeah.
Hey, there we are. Mama's little yellow pills.
Am I 21?
It's gonna
Wait for it.
Wait for
Wait
it.
for it.
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
I can't wait
I'm
any
disappointed.
longer.
Oh no!
Kinda
I need it.
I'm
disappointed.
The beer smells good. The website sucks.
Yeah. This is accurate.
It went blank.
Yep, fuck
Okay,
it.
so
Anyway,
fuck it.
cheers!
I can't wait any longer.
All right, let's do this.
Oh
Wow.
Wowzers.
Whoa!
That is
whoa.
borderlining. Like, that is almost an IPA.
Damn.
Holy shit!
It's good, though.
But it's another one with our trend of it. It ends quick.
Yeah.
It ends quick, but it's okay. So with IPAs, the thing I don't like is that it
takes the
lasts.
happiness
It,
out of
well,
your
it
mouth.
lasts way too long.
This
This
one
is-
goes away.
And that's the thing that I like about it. It has that IPA.
Bite.
But it goes away quick.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I think this is like literally somebody took a vat and dumped half IPA and half Pilsner.
Right.
Like, it's perfect.
Well, yeah, it's hazy like an IPA.
Yes, it is. A lot of hops. That's what
That
it
is
is.
way hazy.
It's a hoppy beer.
Holy crap, guys! Yeah, definitely. Where did you get ABC and Chris Herbert?
No, Earth Fair. Well, it's where I got his 6-pack of.
Yeah, I forgot the name
Key
of it,
Billies.
but I actually saw at ABC there was a Playa Linda on the shelf over there, but one had been taken, so they'd broken it up into 5 individuals.
They have the Robinaut Red.
What?
The Robinaut Red.
What?
It's in cans.
What?
I
What?
have it.
What?
Really? Where?
No, I didn't. I got it.
Where?
Earth Fair.
What?
What?
Romanov Red is in cans at Earth Fair.
You didn't tell us this, and you didn't get it because if you had told me this, I would have been.
I
like,
wanted to get your face on camera when I told you
No,
this.
no. At this
What?
point, I'm.
They
me
had
and him-
plenty.
It would have been fuck the Key Billy. Get the Romanov Red.
No, because I would have been like, get me both.
True.
We'll make a trip
You
up
okay
there.
Heartburn's catching up with me. That's all. We're good. No, just that's the heartburny stuff.
Gaviscon.
Whew.
Oh
Gaviscon,
god, guys, fucking.
I've been trying to find something better than the bullshit
Look,
I've been taking.
Don't get me wrong. It's
Check
not.
it out, check it
It's
out.
not my favorite.
They're big round chewables.
Really?
Not my
You want to
favorite.
swallow like 4 of those things in a glass of water.
It's interesting.
What?
This.
It's drinkable. I like
I'm,
this.
I'm
I like this
totally
better.
gonna drink this whole thing,
No, it's good. It's
but
one of those
I'll never
ones-
buy it again.
It's one of those ones that, like, you know how you guys always pick on me because I like my IPAs. Well, with my IPAs and shit, this would be probably about the same rounds where it's every once in a while. If I see this in a 6-pack, I'll get it. It'll stay in my fridge for a week and a half as I dwindle upon drinking it. Then when it's gone, if I see it again, it'll be there.
Right.
But
So
it's good for the time being.
I guess something odd meant out.
I'm fine with
I
it.
actually, I mean, it's not one of those I'd seek it out.
That-
But if
no,
somebody
that's how I
handed
feel
you
about
one,
it.
you
Well,
wouldn't
no,
turn it
not
down.
even that. Like
If we went to
What-
Pine Street and,
and
this
they had
were
this
on-
on
and this
draft,
were on
I would
tap,
have it.
I'd probably ask for it. It just
No,
because
I wouldn't.
I would. I seriously would. Because the thing is
honestly, it's not.
I try to like IPAs. It's just
Here's the thing: this to me actually isn't much different than the Kona that I had the other day when we were there.
Oh, it's a lot like Big Wave. You know what? Now that you
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
say that, it's a lot like Big Wave, actually.
Like I said, that's where I'm getting at.
and that's the,
it
and that's
tastes
the
a
thing.
lot like
that's
Big
the
Wave.
thing that I like about Big Wave. It has that complex flavor.
It's there, but it's not taking
But,
happy
yeah,
out of your mouth.
Yeah,
It's not Sweetwater 420.
Like I'm
well,
not
it's
saying
not
I hate it.
regular
those last
Sweetwater
names.
420.
Like I said, I'm not saying I hate it. It's just I'm not gonna go after it again.
But see, again, with the Sweetwater 420, the Sweetwater 420 Mango Kush one, I will straight up drink that constantly because that shit, it's an IPA. Is it classified as an IPA? That
No, that one's something else. It's not an IPA though.
But
It's
it's-
Is it a hemp?
yeah, that
Yeah,
mango
it's a-
hemp one
it's
for
a
that.
hemp Weizen.
So
Yeah.
you get the IPA thing, but you don't get finished with nothing but like
Just
you
the
just
slap.
licked dirt type.
Tiny hoppy.
thing?
Yeah.
You
No,
get
it's literally
a
like
follow
licking a-
of you get another follow of other stuff onto it. And that's the reason why I like it a lot. But I actually
Oh, we need to talk about this before we sign.
I'm
We did.
actually
Oh yeah.
Oh no, we didn't.
We
I'm
haven't talked
actually
about it yet.
really digging it.
No, we
We
didn't.
talked
What?
about
Talking about the
dinner.
house. I'm sorry. Long.
Okay,
We do
well
need
let's
to
go,
talk.
let's go out to that because I mean
Yeah.
we only got
need to
2
probably
people
get
watching. I
we
don't
need to
even
get
know.
on with it.
Yeah.
Magazines.
Take care
So-
of that, and then I'll need to use one of y'all's phone to look at my Bring a Trail car. My phone died.
As far as magazines go, and how this is affecting, one of the biggest things I think in
Well,
my
no, wait, we didn't even
well, no,
say
no,
what.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you're
no,
going.
no,
My
no.
bad, my bad.
Like I know
my bad.
magazines are becoming a scarce thing, but like I know as a kid, other than
Especially
seeing
a
cars
car
on,
kid.
yeah, being like a kid
Type
into
deal.
cars, like going to stores and like going to like because we went to card shops and shit. Because we did the Pokemon shit. My parents took me there, but they had magazines, a lot of car ones. And I guess apparently one of our friends tagged Mike and I in a post that we were reading that the brand, I think it's 10 Magazine or something like that, the one that does Motor Trend,
the Enthusiast Network.
Yeah, so it does
Yeah.
Motor Trend, it
Hot
does
Rod,
Hot Rod.
4x4,
Four-wheeler.
So,
four wheeler. There you go.
so those are the
Four-wheeling.
3 that are being kept.
No,
but they-
four wheeling and off road.
But they are discontinuing 19 magazines, taking
Print
them out
edition.
of print. Yeah, print edition. Some of them are going to be held over into websites that they're going to keep
Yeah,
going
like
as
blogs.
like digitals and that. But the rest of them are just going to be social media pages.
It's kind of
Which,
depressing,
that,
actually.
yeah, that, I mean, not only are they taking those out of circulation, that is right there taking out
Well, and-
so many writers and editors out of a job.
Well, not only that, but maybe it's kind of the nostalgia of it too. And I guess, a lot of people who are millennials do the okay boomer at that point, but like I can have a paper copy of that and have it forever. I understand it's there forever on a website, but like a screen.
My thing is the way I always got my magazines was I would go grocery shopping with my mom. we would go into our local grocery store to shut me up as a 7-8-year-old kid. We'd
Which was
instantly
get a
5 years ago, by the
yeah,
way.
we would instantly go to
It was more meaningful.
the magazine aisle,
Yeah.
and she'd let me pick one out.
I remember my mom.
And at that point, I would jump into the cart, like not in the like sitting cart, just like in the main part of the cart. And she could do her entire grocery shopping because I had this magazine, and I would read the entire magazine while we were the 2 hours of us grocery shopping. I was entertained. I had my car magazine. And I would read everything, look at all the pictures, read all the ads in the back for, different things that were coming out in that. And by the end of it, she's like, you know what? I'll pay the $5 to get you that magazine because it shut you up this entire time. And I was happy because even though I read that thing front cover to back cover, when I got home, I still got to read it front cover to back cover and just learn so much stuff that I didn't know about.
Right.
Now, I just want to touch on something really, really, really
And they
quick
normally
on
had really
that.
cool posters in them too.
But like,
Well, also, too.
I want to make sure, was that not last week with Sabrina and you at the store, or was that?
Oh yeah,
how
no. She.
Okay,
We
just making
go
sure.
to Publix. I
Okay.
jump into the cart and go
Okay.
like,
I
all
just
right,
wanted to
I'm
make
good.
sure.
Push me around.
No, that's fine.
She's like, you got a brown paper bag in Publix. I don't care. Push me
care.
around.
No, my mom and my dad did the same thing though, and that's like, I guess it was more meaningful to get a magazine and have something like that. And like, even when I was young, my dad signed me up to Motor Trend, and my mom, my dad paid for a subscription to Motor Trend for me from the time I was eight years old till I was 13.
See, my parents did. My mom did
Well,
Hot
More
Rod.
than that, it was up until I was in high school, and I kept every magazine. I have all of them in my garage.
See, I did Hot Rod magazine, and my thing is I still remember the very first Hot Rod magazine I got. It was 1999, and it was the one that it had 3 fold-out posters, and one of them was the House of Colors Mango Tango. No, it was not.
okay.
It was not. It was the 55 Nomad wagon with the House of Colors Mango Tango paint job with the white top on it. And that thing, and it was a Boyd Coddington special. That poster sat above my bed with 4 fucking pins in it for hell. When we moved from Spring Hill and I moved up to Citrus County, it still was above my bed.
Mhm.
Not being a Chevy guy, I don't care. That car was absolutely beautiful, and that I kept above my bed until me and Sabrina got together, and then it got lost somewhere. It's somewhere in this. It's somewhere in this house, but that I still vividly remember very easily popping the staples out to get it so I didn't rip it, and then putting the staples back in and closing them back up on the outside of the magazine so that way I could hang it up on my wall.
Mhm.
Well,
And
anyway,
that started that.
that's
And
depressing
I
about
am
the magazine.
so sad that it's
Actually, reading the letters to the editor was essentially like the first version of the comment section.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
oh yeah.
You had your first Facebook Marketplace in the back.
Yeah.
With the classifieds.
Well, and it was also
You know?
with like getting the Auto Trader books that usually went as I don't know how it was when you were a kid, and I'm not trying to age in there. It was
He's calling you old.
when I would
We
leave.
didn't have Auto Trader books. We had the books to get stone carved wheels, and those were also carved on stone.
Okay. So
they were
we-
tablets, not
when we
books.
would be leaving the grocery store, we were like they would keep the carts and that. They would always have like the little stand there where it was the free Auto Traders and that. And it was like 150, 200
Oh,
page.
yeah, it was a giant
Thing.
thing.
And I didn't
Where,
know care.
like-
I was a
where,
little
like,
kid who
the-
couldn't buy cars. I
Yeah.
like getting and looking
Yeah,
at
exactly.
it.
So like the
Like,
first 20 pages were the premium pages where it was the actual gloss pages, but
and the
after
rest
that
of
they
it
were
was like
paper.
it was like the newspaper
Yeah.
paper.
And every single time we went to the grocery store, I would get another copy of that, and it was pretty much like Joe Dirt, where he's opening it up, going, "Man, look at this! They got a 1969 satellite with a Hemi in it. You see this shit? Like that? That was me. Like,
But you
you see
realize
this?" My mom's like, "Yeah, okay,
But
whatever." I'm like,
But ultimately, we haven't changed because we find cars on Bring a Trailer, we find cars on eBay, we find cars on Marketplace, we find cars on Craigsless.
and we send them back and
And
forth
we
to
send
each
them
other.
back and forth.
We're never gonna buy them. We
Check
always
out what I just found.
Anyway, speaking of Bring a Trailer, you want to roll us on into
Oh,
the
yeah.
old Bring a Trailer?
Oh yeah, I got something for you.
Oh, Daddy. I see it. Oh, my God. That brings back memories.
And there's pictures.
Is that an 89?
No, this is a 1983 Toyota Supra 5-speed manual P-Type
Hold on.
140 on the
So
clock.
is this an MD3?
2.
Oh,
My
yes.
my grandfather had one just like that, the same color, the same interior, and everything. I
Wait,
remember
hold on.
that
Is that
when I
a-
was a kid.
It's
Is
a
that-
P-type.
hold on.
It's
Is that a
It's like a
Celica
Celica
Supra?
yeah.
It's pretty.
It is absolutely
So it's
beautiful. And
the
his,
s-
does
I
it
mean,
got
it's
the big roof
mint
spoiler on it?
inside.
Yeah.
My grandfather's had that big ass roof spoiler on
Did
it
your
too.
grandfathers have the black painted deck and back bumper?
Yeah,
Okay, it was a P-type.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Okay.
his looked just like this. It had the big ass
Gimme,
spoiler.
gimme,
It had
gimme,
the black.
gimme, gimme,
Okay,
gimme.
so
I was a kid when he had one. I remember it.
the differences between a Celica and a Supra, actually the Mark I Supras
And a
and the Mark
Celica Supra because it was a,
Yeah, well, the Mark I Supras, which was the bubble era,
Yeah.
bubble cars, that was after the one I had. The difference between those and a Celica and that and a Celica is the length of the front end. They actually extended the front end and the wheelbase 2 inches to accommodate the straight six.
That thing's sweet, dude. What kind of what straight six came in those?
It says somewhere in here which motor that was.
It's a single cam. It looks like.
No, do over again.
Cool. Oh, it's got one of those wide ass valleys.
Yeah.
It's not a 7M. though.
5MG?
Could be a 5M maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a 4M. It was a 5M, I
I
think.
think it was a 5M.
Was it
yeah.
5MG?
This 1983 Toyota Supra is a P-type model finished in torrid red and black and is powered by a 2.8 liter Dock inline 6, 5-speed manual, limited slip diff. Car was purchased by the seller in 2009 and shows approximately 140,000 miles.
Oh, really?
40,000 of which were added under
Yes.
current ownership. So this guy drove the car.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, that's
driven it a
clean.
lot. 140,000 miles on the clock.
Nice.
Engine was pulled for a rebuild completed in 2017 and work performed during the engine reinstallation included
It's
flywheel-
not a pull. It's a
It's
flip,
a flip
button.
switch.
yeah,
and hazard is
flywheel
still perfect.
resurfacing, clutch cylinder rebuilds, and servicing the cooling and air conditioning systems. Clean Carfax report and a transferable
Pretty
New Hampshire
clean. It
registration.
looks like it's been driven. It
seller's
doesn't look like
manual.
anything's leaking though.
Yeah, this car is actually old enough in New Hampshire that it doesn't have a title; it just has a transferable registration.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, I mean it's used
Uh,
when it's not. It's
Black
used,
accents, 2-tone trim options.
Hold dial back. That actually might make me have a big influence on the price. It's just got a transferable registration. How does that work out of state? I wonder.
it transfers to the title. Like
But there is
it-
no,
it-
there is no title.
No,
That's the
when
thing.
you bring those like to Florida,
you get a title.
They give you a title.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if it was
Just
that easy
in
or
New
not.
Hampshire,
Okay.
like in those, like in
Dude, I
states
don't know
like
the
in,
market
So, yeah,
in
this thing-
states
so,
like
yeah.
that, it'll go from hey, it's not
19.
yeah.
so this thing goes on, like I said, the P-type, and not only gives it that roof-mounted spoiler, the black deck and rear bumper, it also gives it fender flares.
I like it.
I
This
just wish
particular-
there was a picture. Oh, there's a picture of the front.
This particular one has what it says: power set to a W58 5-speed manual transmission, and P-type supermodels were equipped with a limited slip differential and 4 10-to-1 rear gears.
Cool.
Oh, it's a it's a 5MGE engine is the engine is what it
It
says.
is a 5M. Okay, we were. Hey. Chris was fucking.
I
I don't know what the market is on those. I'm gonna go with 13.9.
With how clean the car is,
It
the
is
fact that
solid.
the engine was rebuilt, I
Definitely-
know there's a
it's-
market on those cars.
It's definitely a car that's been well used and cared for.
But there's a market for those cars.
There's a market. I just don't know what it is.
I'm gonna go on ahead and say, yeah, I'm gonna stick with my
I'm gonna
first
stick
guy,
with
19.
I'm saying
I might be way off
I've
here,
just-
though.
I think I'm way off. I think you're more. towards it.
I look that it's right out of the 80s. It's angular, everything about it. There's
80s.
it's an early 80s Japanese car. The proportions on it are fantastic. I've always loved the lines of these. And there's at least 2 of them running around here.
Mhm.
One's white and one's silver, and they are in amazing, not P types, but they are both in amazing condition.
See, I'm torn. I want to go higher, but I also it's one of those. I'm like,
I'm gonna stab in the middle of me and Chris.
well, no, it's one of those.
Are you gonna price this right down there?
Is there gonna be a market for those?
And that's what
Well,
I.
Everything I've seen on Bring a Trailer go that's like that
Okay, here's
is
the,
pulling big money.
Okay, here's the thing. Because the Mark IV Supers have gotten so
yeah.
expensive, the Mark IIIs are starting to see some love. But so many Mark IIIs, because they were worthless for so long, were just driven into the ground. So if those start to spike up at all, I think these are next in line. And honestly, I would
Yeah.
rather have one of these than a Mark III just because I love the way these cars look.
Same here.
11.
What'd we go for?
9200.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck! I almost.
No, you got it.
I really thought the
Well,
bring a
hey,
trailer
I-
tax would be higher.
No,
Yeah.
to be honest, I was gonna go 95 because but I wasn't sure if that was gonna be too low because
Well, here's my next question. Was that a no reserve car?
Yeah.
It was. Okay.
Shit.
It's sold. Yeah, it's sold. I don't do cars that were just bid to and then stuff.
Well, no. I didn't know
No.
if it sold and if it wasn't a no reserve. That would have
Well,
really
I don't-
meant the
honestly-
guy set the
well,
bar
honestly,
low in my
when
opinion.
when I look up the cars that are completed, I just look at the completed auctions. Every now and then, I will look at what's ending that day to see if anything comes up
Cool
interesting.
coming up.
There was a square body on there that I almost picked.
Which one?
The orange and white one.
The one that had the Phytech on it.
I didn't look at the ad. I just
Yeah.
scrolled past it.
That was the orange and white. I don't remember what any of the prices were, but I did look at it.
I saw that one. I was like, okay.
It was complete original. Just had
Like I said,
Phytech on it.
I looked at it. I was
It-
like, all right,
it was-
open that one in a new tab.
it was
and then
sweet.
there was an 80s 560E, one of the big
Yeah,
two-door Mercs.
I saw that
Okay,
one
and I
on
saw
there.
that one. I was like, these old ass big Mercs are freaking cool.
Mhm.
You know, Roadhouse, those things are just amazing. And I scrolled up and I saw the Mark II, and I was like, screw that. I like this car the best.
Oh, yeah.
That's
No,
a car.
that was a sweet truck. That was a really nice truck. I love that orange that they came in back then. Just popped in
I'm
your
surprised
face.
that went for that cheap.
Same here.
Like,
But- yeah.
I'd have thought just because of the shape it's in and
Yeah.
being on bring a trailer,
It
I'd have
was
thought
good.
it would have went for more.
Yeah,
same here.
there probably should have been a tax on that one, but
I guess now we know.
Maybe
But
that's
anyway.
that's the last one to slip under the radar.
I think. I think
Let's
it's.
hope so. Well, let's not hope so because I want to say cheap that hopefully if I win a scratch off I can buy one. But
well, I mean, actually, though, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, look at the car people that would actually be on Bring a Trailer. It's a fairly narrow group.
Yeah,
of
it is.
weirdos
True.
like us, and there's a lot of
True.
people with cars like that aren't weirdos like us.
yeah. Because it's one of those like when people ask, "Hey, you won a lottery, what are you gonna buy?" And I tell them what I'm gonna buy, and they're like, "Really?"
Oh, I tell
Yeah.
people all the time. My lottery house would be a 2-bedroom, 2-bath with a 25-car air-conditioned garage
Right.
stuffed full of weird shit that's probably fairly cheap.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I'd have a total collection that would just be.
Oddball random
It'd be
shit.
like, well, it's worth like 50 grand, but you have 40 cars back here. Yeah, it's worth like 50 grand.
Yeah, like that's yeah.
And the only reason it's worth 50 is because I bought a Porsche, and that's worth 40.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Exactly.
you just bought $60,000 worth of parts for it.
I really
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
to pee. I'm sorry.
All
Oh,
right, guys,
we're about to stop.
we're gonna take off. Thanks for watching. It's been a lot of fun.
Next time.
Maybe next time will
We
be
won't do
better.
next time.
We're not gonna do better next. We're not gonna do better next time.